You've had your hand up for a long time. Yes, and purple, the purple. All right.
It's basically directed towards Claudia, but it includes everybody. I was in this council about 13 years old. When I turned 18, I was excited. I registered to vote. Nothing has ever changed since I was 18. I've left 3 times and come back 3 times. And nothing changes, just the faces. People are hired for high positions that there's no background check. There was a guy that was hired at the airport that embezzled millions of dollars in Florida. Hey, let's hire him in Amarillo. That sounds like a great idea. And then he did it here. And then he left and went somewhere else. People are hired for high positions in the city with no background check or maybe a wink and a handshake. And they screw up. Okay, well, see you. Have a good time. You can go over to Lubbock or something. How are you going to do things differently?
Well, I wasn't aware that that was something that was happening. That's really interesting to know that we're hiring people for high positions and we're paying high wages for them, from what I understand. But, you know, I think that's something we can look into. I think it should be mandatory to have the background checks, especially, you know, in certain positions. What are some of the other things besides the background check? I mean,
Well, the fact that they hired a guy that I think they knew about it, because if you Googled him, it came up. So it wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
And so they hired this guy out at the airport.
well, it sounds like we need to redo our hiring process and how we're looking into the backgrounds of people and their history and verifying references and previous jobs and so forth.
Yeah, not just no wink and a handshake because, hey, my brother has this guy that, you know, he needs a job.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's something that the mayor and the city manager can go hand in hand and work together on implementing probably a new policy. Because it sounds like ours is outdated if we're not doing background checks and things like that. So I think
They are on certain levels. Just not on all levels.
So you think on the lower levels, is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah.
That's
I work
interesting.
in the city.
Well, that's definitely something that we'll need to look into because that's not acceptable.
I don't know who's next. Sure. Oh, sorry.
Add to that answer, you know, one of the things that I've heard is that there's a lot of people that are working for the city that are probably making a lot more money than they should be. And I think that, you know, once the new council gets in, we need to look at some of the higher level managers' pay and qualifications and backgrounds, and reevaluate who we have working for us in the city and who's running our city really. So that's something that definitely would look at it.
Hayden mentioned earlier an assessment or a consultation. We pay for those. We pay for park and recreation. Oh, sorry, my mouth. Parks and recreation consultation that left us with a closed pool. You know, and whether it's dangerous or not, I don't want to get into that, but we can order assessments and investigations into the dealings of Amarillo. And I mean, I think, and from what I've heard, a lot of investigations need to be done about where money's being spent and how it's being spent and who it's being spent on. Again, I'll mention, you know, I'm just a regular person. I don't have anything to gain. If I did gain anything, everybody would know about it, and I'm not trying to gain anything. My wife wouldn't allow it to happen. But we do have the power to bring things to light because we are not tied into certain circles that are going to lose us money, or we're not losing any donations from any lobbying organizations. And honestly, I think investigations do need to be done, and that's one way I would handle that issue.
The city council and mayor do have the authority to call in investigations of pretty much anything that's related to city business and things that have occurred. And that was definitely high on my priority list because a lot of the things that have happened, such as the ballpark, you know, the Texas Tech schools, just all kinds of things that have happened and money that's just been dumped into certain projects. I'd like to investigate into those and see, you know, what was behind it and how it all played out exactly. I mean, kind of back to what Kip said about, when she was talking about there hasn't been any change in Amarillo, you know, it's been the same, and Kip said the same thing. It's been the same people kind of in the shadows running everything, just different puppets. So I think with probably anybody on this slate here, you know, if you vote for any of us, you're going to actually see some results this time versus the people that are paid for by that group of people.
And what these different law firms and businesses angle is in there's Prana Investments, et cetera, et cetera.